You pass.
Oh, thank you so much.
Wait, is that a bike lane? Hey, what's crack-a-lack and J-Fam? I'm your host, James Morelan, and I filmed my driver's test. And I wanted to talk about this for a long time, and I'm super excited. So I've had my license for about a year. I got it, I think, on February 8th, 2018. And I put a GoPro in the back of my car, and I recorded my entire test when they were talking, when I was driving, when I made mistakes. And today we're just gonna talk about it, how to avoid it, and I guess if you haven't taken your test yet, kind of show you what it's like and how stressful it is, or in some cases, not that bad. And yeah, so I only had to take the test once and I passed the first time. It was pretty scary. I was really nervous. I did a lot to prepare for it and it took a long time, but let's just get into it.
Okay, GoPro is rolling.
Okay, so I set the camera up in the back, and right before you start the test, you have to get in your car, turn it on, and then the instructor tells you to turn on your headlights, high beams, hit the horn, hit your brakes. I think there's a couple other things like windshield wipers. They make you test and make sure the car is working and that you know how to use your car. Before you take your test, make sure you know how to do those things. It might be different on different cars, so you do need to know how to turn on your headlights and high beams and windshield wipers and other things like that.
At least the cold part's out of the way.
Okay, so I was pretty fortunate. I got a super nice instructor. She was younger too, so it wasn't like an old, scary person. I mean, old people aren't scary. I mean, I don't think so. But I got a really nice person, and I made some jokes later on, you'll see.
So while we're on the test today, I want you to drive like you have traffic around you at all times. Even if you're the only car on the road, still want you to check your mirrors, and I'm not going to try to trick you or have you do anything illegal.
All right. Nervous.
Okay, so as we're driving, you might see something on the sides of the road. That is snow. Snow. It snowed the day before I took my test, and it was horrible because it didn't snow for like a week before then. All the snow melted, and then it snowed the day before my test. Like Mother Nature, come on. It was horrible. So there was snow on the side, and I'll show you that later in the video. Yeah, there was snow on the side. It made the lanes harder. It made the sides of the road shorter. So basically, when I had to park against the side of the snow, it was a lot harder because you couldn't really tell the distance that well because the snow was uneven. It was a pain. I don't know why Mother Nature wanted to challenge me with that. And I was also pretty cautious because I wasn't really used to driving on the snow. So it was different for me because I'm not used to having to drive slower and drive different. So naturally I decided to drive slower, I guess. Okay, and another thing, like the instructor, she didn't really tell me what I needed to do until right before I had to do it. And I personally like to know every single thing I have to do. I like being told turn left in 50 feet and then turn right or turn left right after that. I like knowing ahead of my plan so it's like easier for my brain to understand. She wasn't really doing that. She's like turn left like 5 feet before I go to the left turn lane. So it was pretty hard for me and I wasn't used to that, so it was a little difficult. That's why I like my GPS. I like when it tells me further ahead. It was a little difficult for me, but I got used to it by the end of the test. Do you see that semi to the side of me? Yeah, just keep watching it. got passed by a semi because I was going about 26 in a 45. Oh my gosh. I was going 26 in a 45. I was the snow. The snow was freaking me out. I needed to drive slow so it wouldn't like skirt and ice and all this other stuff. I was so nervous and a semi truck passed me. That got me almost like 6 points off my test because I wasn't keeping up with the speed. It was a pain. So I was super nervous and I was just driving slow. Oh, that was horrible. I got passed by a semi. So when I'm in awkward situations, I tend to make random jokes and trying to make the people in the situation laugh so it's not as awkward. So when I'm sitting with this lady that I have no clue who she is, she could be pretending to be a DMV driver and try killing me later. Can you imagine? But I just like to make jokes, especially when I'm awkward. So I was like, you're like the GPS telling me what to do. Although she wasn't really telling me what to do until right before it had to happen. But yeah, I tried making jokes, trying to make her laugh. Plus, like, it would be more likely for her to not deduct points if I made her laugh. More of a personal connection. She wouldn't really want to make someone fail if they made her laugh or like it seemed more friendly. It's like that social engineering at work.
Kind of like Siri there. From GPS.
This is pretty intense. So a Y-turn. Y-turns are pretty basic. Basically, you have to pull over to the one side of the road, turn, back up, and then go. So it's kind of easy to do, but the thing is you need to indicate. Indicating is horrible and I sucked at it. So I was freaking out and my whole mind was focusing on, okay, you have to indicate right, and then you have to indicate left, and then you have to indicate right. It was really scary for me. So I decided to use like all my brain power on just focusing on the turn signals, because those are a lot of points that you'll lose if you get that wrong.
What I want you to do here is a Y turn. Are you familiar with that?
Yes.
Yep. Go ahead when it's safe. Is that what they told your driver's ed?
Yeah, they said you have to make sure to do it under 30 seconds. Is that actually something? Ooh.
Well, I mean,
No! I didn't put it in reverse, I left it in drive and I started to drive. It was horrible. It was horrible. Can we roll that again?
Is that actually something? Ooh.
well, I mean, it's safer. The quicker you can get it done and get out of the way, yeah.
Yeah, but at least we're not on a busy road, so thank you for that.
I didn't put the car in reverse. I was freaking out. I was like, the turn signals, and I didn't reach over and put it into reverse, and I left it in drive and I started to go. Gladly, I caught myself before it was too late and such a mistake, and I kept talking and I knew I messed up in my mind. I knew I messed up. Oh, it was horrible, and I was like so awkward, like, oh yeah, I kind of messed up, but I'll keep going. So I was super nervous. I didn't know if you accidentally go and like if you don't change gears, I didn't know if that was a pass or fail kind of thing. So I didn't know if I failed, and I kept going and I was so nervous because like I thought I failed right then and there. And I was like so upset. And at this point my deodorant levels were already running low, so I was just sweating so much and it was so awkward. I was so scared, and like the rest of the time whenever I talked to her I started like stuttering a little bit. My brain was like on hyper, like everything was going so fast in my head. I felt so horrible. That was like the biggest mistake I could have made.
From here, I want you to show me how you park your car as if you're parking uphill next to a curb.
Okay, so first parking it, emergency brake, and then
So now after the wide turn, we had to do some other maneuvers. I had to park to the side. Gladly, they did not make me do parallel parking, which seemed a little awkward because I thought we needed to do it, but they didn't. I had to drive backwards, putting my hand over and looking over, and I did pretty well at that, and also getting close to the curb. She also made me park uphill, like fake uphill, so I had to turn the steering wheel to the right direction, put up the parking brake, and it turned out pretty fine after that.
Turn left at this intersection.
Okay, and then the craziest thing that happened. Okay, so we're driving, and it was at the end of the thing. I knew we were about to pull up to the DMV. I'm driving down this road, and I turn left onto that road, and when I'm driving, I'm like, okay, I'm driving, I'm looking, making sure everything's going all right. The person's next to me, I feel pretty confident, even though I did not put it in reverse. But I'm still driving and going all right, and then I look down, I'm like, wait, is that a bike lane? And I look down, there's a bike. I'm driving half in the bike lane. And I didn't know because there's snow on the ground. And I was like, oh wait, is that a bike lane? And I kept driving and I started like, I thought I failed because you're not really supposed to drive in bike lanes. However, gladly I was turning right pretty quickly while I was driving there. So technically she counted it as me getting in the right side of the road so I could make the right turn. Because when you're turning right, you're kind of supposed to go in between and then turn. But I was driving in the bike lane for like a couple seconds and I felt so bad because like if there was a biker there I could have killed them and that's no bueno. So I was so scared when I was driving there and I felt really bad. And then it was over. I parked the car and I had enough confidence to like, once I parked, I was like, tell me, did I pass? Because I didn't want to go in and see my mom and be like, Mom, I failed.
Give me a spoiler.
You passed.
Oh, thank you so much.
Well, you did it.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
And she told me I passed. That was one of the most satisfying moments because driving is such a privilege and it's such an honor and such like a rite of passage because you're gonna drive basically the rest of your life. And this is like a big moment, so that's especially why I wanted to record it. And one day I'll show my kids and hopefully they won't drive in the bike lane because that would be bad. Oh, it was horrible. The world was fighting against me. The snow, me personally not having experience driving in the snow, even though I live in Wisconsin. That was pretty crazy. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button and like button if you haven't already. If you enjoyed videos where I sit down more against my Fuego bed, I need to make a room tour. It's so cool. It's like, hey Google, smash.
Changing 2 lights to
Oh.
red.
Hey. Google, stop. So we're gonna be coming out with some new vlogs pretty soon. I hope you guys enjoyed. Again, this was a big thing. If you guys check out my Instagram at James Morelan, you can see the photo I took with my temps. I was like, time to throw out the temps and bring out the new license. So I am in America, so I was 17 when I took my test. Legally, you have to be 16 and you have to take a driver's ed course. You also have to have a temporary license like this one for about 6 months before you can actually take your test. So let me show you my photo. This one was my temporary license. Let me show you something too. And I'm also a donor too. This is the one I took that day. So yeah, the day I got my license, I started carrying this piece of paper with me. And this piece of paper is a get out of jail free card. So if I ever get a ticket, if I ever get pulled over by the police, I'm gonna hand them this piece of paper and try making them laugh because you're less likely to get a ticket if you get a police officer to laugh because it's kind of more friendly. The same thing with the instructor. But yeah, I have this. Hopefully I won't get arrested or won't get a ticket. But if you guys get your license, make sure you carry one of these with you at all times. But now there's some Monopoly game in the world that is missing a get out of jail free card. I kind of feel guilty for that. I'll catch you all on the flippity flop. See you all later. Check out Instagram down below and also hit the like button. It was fun. See you later. Bye.